The atmosphere is electric as the pit crews for cars 47 and 17 swap places in preparation for the nail-biting race at Talladega. Chris Bell will soon join the action, partnering with the JTG Daugherty crew and the dynamic Chevy Team Ford crew of Chris Buescher and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. It might surprise many that large teams occasionally rent pit crews from smaller ones, creating a complex web of relationships in the NASCAR world. Before we get started, support us by liking our video and subscribing to our channel. We have some amazing content lined up for this week that you won't want to miss. Just last week, it was unveiled that Roush Fenway Keselowski, RFK Racing, a powerhouse in NASCAR, leases pit crews to JTG Daugherty while monitoring their trainees. This intriguing partnership was initially overlooked, as no one expected the Chevy team Ford crew to be part of the arrangement. RFK Racing has opted for the 17 pit crew over the dominating 47 crew this season, keeping the latter on standby and eagerly awaiting their next opportunity to prove themselves. RFK Racing, formed as a result of a merger between Roush Fenway Racing and Brad Keselowski Racing in 2022, has a storied history in NASCAR. With roots dating back to 1988, Roush Fenway Racing built a reputation as a formidable competitor in the sport. The merger with Brad Keselowski Racing added the expertise and passion of the former NASCAR Cup Series champion Brad Keselowski, further strengthening the team's presence in the racing circuit. Throughout their time in NASCAR, RFK Racing has experienced tremendous success, boasting numerous wins, top finishes, and unforgettable moments. Their driver lineup includes talented racers such as Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, and the up-and-coming Ty Majeski. The team's dedication to excellence is evident in their continuous search for the best pit crews to support their drivers, as demonstrated by their leasing arrangement with JTG Daugherty Racing. JTG Daugherty Racing, understandably, is not thrilled with RFK's treatment of the pit crews today. However, as the employer, RFK has the final say in these matters. This situation led other teams, like 2311 Racing, to hire their own pit crews during the off-season instead of renting from giants like Joe Gibbs Racing. Although training, hiring, and equipping one's own crews is more costly, it offers teams greater control over performance and prevents individuals from being limited by group decisions. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. shared his disappointment on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, revealing that he and his team are definitely bummed out because RFK decided to make this change. They were initially told they would keep their pit crew for the year, but after witnessing their exceptional performance on pit road, RFK decided to switch things up. This decision highlights the ongoing tension between Stenhouse and the Roush side of RFK Racing. Stenhouse's frustration is understandable, as he hoped his pit crew would remain intact for the season. It's clear why Stenhouse's crew would be disappointed with the change. Although RFK's 17 team was faster according to the numbers, the 47 team clinched victory at this year's Daytona 500. With the race for the title getting more intense than ever, the competition is fierce, and every decision made by teams like RFK Racing can have significant implications on their future success in NASCAR. Chris Buescher has recently made a statement about his current ranking within the top 16, emphasizing the necessity to secure a victory in the near future. Meanwhile, Stenhouse's 47 JTG has successfully advanced to the playoffs, thanks to a well-deserved win. This significant decision arrives relatively late in the season, highlighting one of the most unusual aspects of NASCAR, the substantial impact one team can have on another. It may seem like a strange bargain to strike, but in some instances, it's deemed necessary. Both RFK and JTG have experienced their fair share of mid-season trades, with one notable example being the switch between Ricky Stenhouse and Chris Buescher a few years back. The racing community is captivated by these two distinct categories and eagerly anticipates the thoughts and opinions of others. Questions surrounding the nature of these deals arise. Are they simply political moves, or could there be an element of dishonesty on RFK's part? Nevertheless, the teams are well within their rights to make such decisions. Given that the 47s boast a faster average speed, it seems logical to assign them to one of RFK's vehicles. Fans and followers of the sport are encouraged to voice their opinions in the comments section below. In other news, Christopher Bell is set to make an appearance on Out of the Groove. Having graced the racing world with numerous showings throughout multiple seasons, Bell has established himself as a formidable contender. The NASCAR community would like to extend their gratitude to Ream for facilitating this exciting interview. As the current points leader in the Cup Series, Bell's insights and experiences are sure to captivate fans and generate lively discussions. The talented race car driver, currently representing Joe Gibbs Racing, graciously agreed to sit down for the interview. The opportunity to spend time with Christopher Bell is always a welcome treat for fans and fellow racers alike. With the playoffs on the horizon, Bell and his team are determined to maintain consistency, persistently putting themselves in advantageous positions to win races. Emphasizing the importance of communication and teamwork, Bell is confident that as long as they continue to uphold their current current strategies, a successful season is well within reach. The inner workings of NASCAR teams are undoubtedly complex and ever-evolving. As the race for the championship title intensifies, fans eagerly await the unfolding of the remainder of the season. Enthusiasts are encouraged to share their thoughts and opinions in the comments section below, and to stay tuned for further updates in the thrilling world of NASCAR. As the season forges ahead, Christopher Bell and his team remain steadfast in their commitment to preserving momentum and refining their techniques. The racing community extends their well wishes for the remainder of the season and the playoffs, eagerly anticipating the exhilarating races to come. Christopher Bell expressed his appreciation for the chance to engage with fans and share his insights, further solidifying his place within the NASCAR community. Despite facing challenges and struggling to make sense of the big picture, the team's efforts began to pay off in the second half of the season. The promising season culminated in an impressive showing in the round of 16, with the team displaying their speed and talent. This year, they seem to be building upon that foundation and consistently achieving their goals. Bristol's soil has become a topic of debate among racing enthusiasts, sparking conversations about whether NASCAR should move to grass tracks or if Cup cars should avoid racing on dirt tracks altogether. This subject surfaced after the driver's positive review of a recent race experience, which led to some backlash from fans who thought the driver's opinion was biased. Despite the criticism, the driver remains unfazed and still thoroughly enjoys their time at this year's Bristol race. They acknowledge that NASCAR's current focus on asphalt tracks has been the standard for some time now, but suggested that perhaps it's time to explore the potential of dirt tracks more seriously. They proposed increasing the number of dirt tracks and promoting them more heavily to attract a larger fan base, and encourage teams and drivers to invest resources into participating. Ty Gibbs has replaced Kyle Busch as a driver in the NASCAR team, and his addition has brought new perspectives to the team. Ty's fresh ideas and recent top 10 finishes have led to a positive shift in the team's dynamics. The team has become more invigorated, and they have found a new enthusiasm for team meetings and strategy discussions. The driver admits that they are not a fan of superspeedway racing, but they have had their most successful year yet in this category, finishing well in both races without making significant changes to their strategy. They are now looking forward to the upcoming race at Talladega, but they are unsure if there will be a third racing lane available. The current superspeedway package has received criticism, with some drivers expressing dissatisfaction with the horsepower, drag, and downforce levels. Despite the lack of enthusiasm for superspeedway racing, the driver believes that the upcoming race at Talladega could be different. They believe that there could be some surprises, and they look forward to seeing what will happen. The team is preparing as much as they can for the race, and they are hoping that they can perform well. What are your predictions for the remainder of the NASCAR season, and which teams do you think will ultimately emerge as the strongest contenders for the championship title? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below, and let's get a lively discussion going. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for the latest updates and insights from the world of NASCAR. Your support means a lot to us and helps us to continue to bring you the latest news and analyses from the racing community.